Hello, my name is Nick Davis. I'm a realtor with RE/MAX Premier Group, and I live and work here in the Tampa Bay area. So I know that a lot of you are considering selling your home because you know the way the market has been here the past 6-7 months. Now, unfortunately, the market has shifted. It's changed. It's not what it was a year ago. It's not what it was 6 months ago. So there's certain things as a seller that you need to be aware of and that you need to consider before you put your house on the market. It was probably a little bit over a year ago when the market just all of a sudden shifted. I remember submitting an offer on a property that I showed. The house had been on the market day one. We went in, we submitted a full price offer. The house was in really good condition and everything. So this agent and I had done many deals over the past 17 years. And when we submitted our offer, they called me up and said, "Nick, just want to let you know, we've got 25 offers on the property." I was like, "What?" And so my buyers went in and, they asked me, "What should we do?" And I said, "Well, how bad do you want the house?" And they said, "Well, we really want the house." And so they came in $25,000 over the list price. And the most bizarre thing is that the house sold $75,000 over the list price. And from that point on, it was just like the wild, wild west. Homes were coming on the market, 25, 35, 50 offers on them. It was insane. And they were selling, I think the high sale that I saw was about $100,000 over the list price. A lot of sellers put their house on the market, got it sold during that time, and moved on. Now, fast forward to today. We still don't have a lot of homes on the market, but some of the sellers are still thinking that they're going to get 30, 40, 50 offers on the house, and they can ask whatever they want, and they can just do whatever they want, and someone's going to buy their house, and they're going to buy it under the seller's conditions and terms. But the market shifted. We're starting to see homes stay on the market a little bit longer. And probably the number one thing that has affected our market down here, and probably where you are if you're not here in the Tampa Bay area, is the interest rate. Buyers who used to be qualified to purchase at a certain price point, and their payment was going to be X, well, now they're qualified, could be 50, 60, 100,000 less, and their payment's going to be Y, and Y is going to be higher than what X was because the interest rate. So as a seller, you got to take that into consideration and be prepared that your home is going to stay on the market a little bit longer. All right, let's get into the meat and potatoes. What can you do to maximize and get your house sold in this market here right now in the Tampa Bay area? Well, one, you can let your agent do their market analysis. And when we do our analysis, we're going to compare an apple to an apple. We're going to look inside your community or within a radius of where your home is if it's not in the community. And we're going to look at plus or minus 10% square footage of whatever your house is. If your house has a pool, we're going to look for pool homes. And we're going to get all the data from the MLS, from public records, and we're going to look back about 6 months and see. And we're going to really focus on the most recent sales of comparable homes to yours. And that's where we're going to come up with our market analysis and our recommended price that you should list your home for. Well, if I come sit down with you and I tell you, "Hey, Mr. or Mrs. Seller, your home is worth $500,000. And you go, "Well, okay, I hear you, but let's list it at 600. Because it's a seller's market. There's not a lot of inventory out there. And there isn't, but again, we're starting to see the inventory stay on the market, the overpriced homes stay on the market a lot longer. So doing that, you're setting yourself up to A, be on the market for a long time, and B, possibly not sell. Now, number two, is that, how do I say this without, I'm not trying to sound offensive or sarcastic or anything. I'm just trying to be real with you. When you go to a doctor and you say, hey doc, I got this killer headache and I can't sleep at night, and a doctor says, all right, Nick, go home, take 2 ibuprofen, 400 milligrams before you go to bed, and then every 4 to 6 hours after that. That's his prescription and telling me how to get better. So if I go home and I go, yeah, that doc, he's crazy, I'm going to drink a glass of orange juice. Well, that's not taking into consideration that he's the expert. Well, we've been doing this for 17 years in the Tampa Bay area, and being an objective third party, I can look at your home, your house, in an objective manner. And I know, sellers are going to say, well, I have this, I have that, and it's mine, and, it's worth more. But at the end of the day, it comes down to an appraisal. The third thing I'd like to talk to you about is getting an appraisal prior to listing your home. It's not such a bad idea. It costs, $300-400, but you're getting an unbiased appraiser who's looking at your house and going to tell you what it's worth. Now, if the appraiser says your house is worth $500 and you still go $600, well, you're going to run into problems when it comes to the financing, because at this present moment, the buyers aren't paying over appraised value. Number 4, making a good first impression. You have to present your home in its best light. You have to get your home prepped using professional photos. And yes, I know cell phones have come a long way, but you want to have professional photos, video done of your home. And we here at Team Davis, we do all that. Nicholas shoots the photos. I shoot the video and the drone. We put together a really nice presentation of your home. Now there's certain things you need to do to prep the home to get it ready. One of the things I like to tell people is less is more. When you walk into the kitchen, if you have, 50 feet of countertop space and you have 200 feet worth of appliances and knickknacks and gadgets and all that stuff, well, you can't see the countertops. So if you haven't used something in recently, put it away. Put it in the cabinets, put it in a closet, pack it up in some bins, put them in the garage, stacked up neatly. You only get one chance to make a good first impression, and that's when the buyer pulls up in front of your home. If you have pets, you're going to have to think about getting them out of the property during the showings. We have dogs. I'm not afraid of dogs. Cats, don't bother me. But some people are allergic. Some people don't like dogs. And even if it's a Chihuahua, they're deathly afraid of it. So getting all that stuff picked up, put away for the photos and video, essential. It's also critical that you do all that for your showings. You got to get the kids on board. Hey, make your bed, put your stuff away. You have to be prepared that every day your house is going to be shown, and you want it to be presented in its best form. All right. So you've done all this. You've priced it where we've told you to price it. We've got the professional photos. We've got the video. Your house is out there, and it's still not being shown. When we look at the sales, we have a scale. We kind of look, the highs and the lows. And, we may recommend, somewhere in the middle, and the seller goes, hey, you said 5 to 525, so let's go 525. Well, we may have to do a price reduction, and that's kind of normal. That's kind of the way it used to be, is you let the house stay on the market a couple weeks, and if you didn't have any showings, or if you had 10 showings and no offers, that's the market telling you that, hey, you're a little bit overpriced. Now, one of the creative things that you can do today is, with the interest rate, there's what's called, there used to be that sellers could give a credit towards closing costs, and that was great. And then the market went wild, and there was none of that happening. Well, instead of going back to that, one of the things that we've encouraged some of our sellers to do is offer a rate buy down. And what that does is that helps the buyer buy their rate down. And you say, hey, I'll contribute $10,000 towards a rate buy down with a full price offer. Now, depending upon the price of the home, that's going to be awesome, or it's going to be, well, minimal, because when you do this, it's all factored in. And I'm not going to get into the really meat and potatoes of this because I'm not a lender, but certain mortgages can only allow so much money being contributed towards the buyer's closing costs, prepaid items, rate buy down. The rate buy down is affected by the amount of down payment and the purchase price. So $10,000 could be, 2 points. It could be a half point depending upon those other factors. So, but it's something new and something to consider. You say, hey, we'll offer $10,000 towards a rate buy down with an acceptable offer. Because you don't want to say full price offer or list price offer, because you still may be, let's just say you're at the higher end of that scope, and we have some a little bit of wiggle room. So you say with an acceptable offer. So if an offer comes in $15,000 below the list price and they want the $10,000, you could say, hey, we'll go $5,000 below the list price and we'll give you the $10,000. And it's all part of the negotiations during the offer and counter offer process. But it's just an idea. It's something that we've kind of toyed around with and are trying to see if it has an impact on getting our home sold. Okay, I know it's a lot, and you have to be flexible. You have to adapt to the market, and the market is changing here every single day. It could sometimes change, on the drop of a dime. So having us represent you in selling your home, 20 years in the military for me, 24 for Cindy, we're pretty flexible and we can adapt. And we're always looking and learning and studying the market and staying on top of this. This isn't a part-time thing for us. It's not a full-time thing for us. It's an all-the-time thing for us. And you want somebody who's doing this all the time to represent you and get you the most money for your home here in the Tampa Bay area. So if you have any questions, you can drop them in the comment section. You can even give me a call on my cell phone, 813-300-7116. Look forward to hearing from you soon.